Archangel Michael says, the air around you has been holding a quiet tension, a slow-moving pressure that feels almost invisible yet unmistakably present. Something has been shifting behind the scenes, footsteps moving carefully where your eyes cannot reach. You may not hear the whispers forming your name, but they have been drifting in corners where shadows pretend to be harmless. The story begins in that silent place, where intentions are hidden beneath calm faces and uncertain loyalties. There is a person watching your progress with a kind of discomfort they cannot explain. Your strength unsettles them, your resilience irritates them, and your quiet confidence wakes up their most insecure corners. They rise each day hoping you slip, hoping your shine dims so their own weakness can remain unnoticed. The truth is that this person is building something quietly, something aimed not at your failure but at your removal. They move like someone who thinks they are unseen, gathering reasons, twisting situations, and shaping a path meant to push you away. They believe the space you stand in belongs to them, as if your success was an accidental spark they must put out. Every step they take is guided by a strange hunger for control, a need to prove they have the power to reposition the world around you. But even as they plan, something stands in their way. Archangel Michael says the energy around you trembles because a greater force has begun to rise. There is protection forming like a cloak, woven from strength you carry and support you don't always notice. Even in silence, your power grows sharper, heavier, and far more unshakable than anything your hidden opposer expects. Their intentions will collide with something they never prepared for. Type Amen 333 to receive your blessing. That person watches your steps as if monitoring every small detail will reveal a weakness they can use. They interpret your kindness as softness, your calmness as vulnerability, and your silence as permission. They have convinced themselves that pushing you out will elevate them, that removing you will turn their misfortune into triumph. But they have misunderstood the nature of someone protected by higher light. Their plan begins with minor movements, shifting conversations into uncomfortable places and planting ideas that seem harmless at first glance. They want others to question your worth, your presence, your position. Their moves are small but consistent, crafted from jealousy and quiet desperation. They believe the world will accept their narrative because they whisper it with confidence. But destiny is not shaped by whispers, destiny bends for those who walk with truth and inner fire. Even if they believe they are guiding events toward your downfall, they are actually guiding themselves toward exposure. Every lie they release carries a weight they cannot escape. Every false step they take leaves a mark that leads back to them. There is a moment approaching where their intentions will collide with consequences. Not because you fight them, but because the energy you walk with exposes what hides in darkness. Their attempts to remove you will only reveal they were never meant to stand where you stand. Type Amen 111 to receive your blessing. They prepare strategies built from envy, mixing manipulation with rehearsed confidence. They pretend to support you in front of others, maintaining a friendly expression that hides sharp intentions. But the energy behind them trembles, because false masks weaken when held too long. The more they pretend, the more cracks begin to appear around them. Their words travel through circles like slow poison, trying to weaken your presence drop by drop. They hope that enough doubt will gather to push you aside without resistance. They imagine a world where you no longer stand in your rightful place. But they do not understand that your path was chosen long before their envy matured. Power that is inherited from truth cannot be removed by schemes built on insecurity. You are rising through seasons they cannot endure. And every move they make against you becomes a stepping stone for your elevation. Their resentment intensifies because they see you glowing in ways they cannot imitate. Archangel Michael says that every attempt made against you is being reversed, redirected, and dissolved before it reaches your life. The force protecting you is not passive, it is active, watching, shielding, and transforming every hidden plot into something that only strengthens your ground. Type Amen 777 to receive your blessing. They move with the confidence of someone who thinks they have the upper hand. But their confidence is built on illusions, not reality. They underestimate your strength because they only see the surface of your journey. They do not see the storms you survived, the battles you overcame, or the scars that turned into armor. Their plan grows deeper, reaching into areas they believe are unguarded. They want influence, control, and recognition, and they believe removing you will give them access to all three. But what they do not understand is that they are operating on borrowed time. The power they think they hold is temporary and fragile. Your presence carries a weight they cannot match, a force that naturally overshadows their intentions. Every time they push against you, they push against something greater than you alone. They push against the truth of your purpose, the shield of your spirit, and the strength of your destiny. They may think they are planning in secret, but nothing formed in darkness stays hidden. Light always finds a way to reveal what needs to be seen. Their intention to remove you will instead remove the mask they hide behind. Type Amen 144 to receive your blessing. They have been gathering support from people who barely understand the story. People who believe anything said with enough confidence, even if it is rooted in insecurity. These followers mirror the same weakness as the one leading them. They move as shadows, thinking they can harm the one protected by inner fire. But shadows dissolve when the light intensifies, and your light has already begun to rise. You are stepping into a season where the truth grows louder than any rumor. Every attempt to weaken you becomes a spotlight revealing their intentions. They cannot outrun the clarity that is approaching. Their greatest mistake is believing your silence equals weakness. Silence is the weapon of the strong, the calm of someone who understands timing and destiny. While they rush with panic-filled ambition, you rise with steady certainty. While they operate in fear, you operate in strength. Archangel Michael says you are now shielded by a force that turns every scheme against its creator. They will be confused when their own actions return to them, stronger than before. They will be shocked when the path they dug for you becomes the one they fall into. Type Amen 999 to receive your blessing. Part 2. Their actions begin to shift from silent plotting to subtle movement. They change their tone when others are around you, acting supportive while hiding restless intentions underneath. They pretend to celebrate your progress, but in their mind they are calculating ways to turn your achievements into reasons for removal. Their spirit grows impatient because your light refuses to dim. They study your strengths like someone examining a map, hoping to find a missing detail they can use. But your strengths are not written on the surface, they live deep within your character, unreachable to those who operate from insecurity. Each time they observe you, they find resilience they cannot copy. This fuels their frustration and intensifies their desire to push you away. Their planning becomes heavier, driven by the fear of being overshadowed by your natural presence. They compare themselves to you in silence, measuring their weaknesses against your growth. Instead of improving themselves, they aim to eliminate the one who exposes their shortcomings. They think removing you will restore their false sense of importance. But life does not honor intentions built from envy. Energy moves with honesty, and the force around you rises higher each day. Their plans begin to shake because they are built on unstable ground. And every step they take against you brings consequences closer. Type Amen 010 to receive your blessing. They attempt to twist narratives, hoping others will believe their version of the story. They use selective words, chosen carefully to influence minds without revealing their true intentions. Their efforts grow bolder, thinking their performance will convince everyone that they speak from concern rather than competition. But truth recognizes truth, and falsehood carries an energy that eventually exposes itself. Their envy sharpens into action, and they begin to move like someone convinced they're on the verge of victory. They believe the silence around them means success, not realizing silence is often the quiet before revelation. Their confidence increases because they think no one sees through them. But the light you carry sees every shadow they cast. The closer they push toward their goal, the more unstable their path becomes. Their intentions create an invisible weight, pressing down on their decisions and causing small mistakes to form cracks in their plan. These cracks begin to widen, revealing patterns of behavior others will soon notice. Their attempt to rise will become their reason to fall. Their fear grows quietly because on some level they sense the truth forming around you. They sense the protection increasing, the energy shifting, the atmosphere changing. Their instincts tell them something powerful stands in your way, and in their path. But they ignore the warning signs and continue forward. Type Amen 212 to receive your blessing. Their mind becomes clouded with obsession, unable to understand why their efforts fail to impact you. They repeat the same tactics, hoping a different outcome will appear. But nothing they create gains the strength to break through the shield that surrounds you. Every attempt dissolves before it reaches your life. They grow irritated seeing you stand firm, steady, and unmoved by their invisible battles. Your calmness disturbs them because it forces them to see their own chaos. They wanted you stressed, shaken, or uncertain, but instead you glow with quiet stability. That stability breaks them from the inside. They try to gather more people into their plan, hoping strength in numbers will overpower your presence. But envy-linked alliances are fragile, built on shared weakness rather than loyalty. These alliances start to crumble as doubt spreads among them. People who followed blindly begin to question the true intention behind their leaders' motives. Their influence becomes shaky as more patterns come to the light. Their behaviors gain attention for the wrong reasons, and whispers begin forming around them instead of you. The same system they tried to use against you begins to reveal their hidden intentions. Slowly, their false confidence begins to deteriorate. Type Amen 909 to receive your blessing. They continue pushing with desperation, trying to force an outcome that destiny has already rejected. Every move they make becomes less effective than the one before. Their energy weakens as your spirit strengthens. You rise naturally, without effort, while they struggle against forces far greater than their intentions. The environment around them begins to shift as people see through the performance they've relied on for so long. Their act no longer holds the same power. Their charm wears thin, their words lose weight, and their influence fades. Those who once followed them start pulling back quietly. People begin to notice the difference between someone who walks with authenticity and someone who walks with envy. Your consistency exposes their inconsistency. Your character outshines their manipulation. Their efforts become obvious, and the world around them starts aligning with truth. They attempt to regain control, but their grip loosens with every passing moment. Their frustration grows because nothing they do creates the impact they desire. The path they built begins collapsing beneath them. And they realize they are running out of time. Type Amen 505 to receive your blessing. Continuation, Part 3. Their desperation begins to turn into restlessness, and their movements lose the precision they once carried. They start repeating the same tactics, hoping persistence will replace strategy. But their actions scatter like unstable pieces of a broken plan. Nothing stays aligned long enough to work in their favor. The force around you remains grounded, steady, and unshakable. Your energy rises without struggle, without noise, and without having to fight back. The purity of your intentions outweighs every attempt they make to interfere. Your path moves forward while theirs becomes tangled in complications they created themselves. Their frustration shows in small ways they cannot hide anymore. Their tone shifts, their expressions slip, and their timing falters. People around them begin noticing patterns that were once invisible. The masks they wore so confidently start to loosen at the edges. And the more they try to conceal the cracks, the wider those cracks become. Their energy feels heavy, their words feel forced, and their presence carries tension. Meanwhile, your presence grows lighter, brighter, and stronger without effort. You continue rising naturally, untouched by the chaos forming behind you. Type Amen 818 to receive your blessing. They begin pushing harder, trying to create pressure around you, hoping it will make you step away. But pressure only strengthens those who were born to carry greatness. Every wave they send toward you dissolves before touching your path. It fades like smoke against the shield that wraps your spirit. Their allies start losing interest because there is no true purpose behind the plan they follow. People sense when something is built from negativity, and they instinctively distance themselves. Loyalty cannot survive in a place fueled by envy. Slowly, their supporters fade one by one, leaving them standing alone. They try to rebuild their influence, but their attempts feel weak and unconvincing. Their voice no longer carries the same weight, and their intentions lack the power they once believed they had. They try to regain control of the narrative, but the narrative has already slipped out of their hands. Truth has begun to speak for itself. Your silent strength becomes louder than anything they could ever say. Your presence alone becomes a statement. Your growth becomes proof. And every part of your journey demonstrates that your destiny cannot be redirected by someone who operates from insecurity. Type Amen 303 to receive your blessing. They begin to sense the shift, even though they refuse to accept it. They feel something closing in on them, something that makes their chest tighten and their pace quicken. Their mind grows restless because their actions no longer match the results they expected. The imbalance rattles them. Their plans start to rebound with a speed they cannot control. Every attempt they make circles back toward them like a reflection of their inner intentions. They step forward thinking they hold power, but that step becomes a pathway leading to their own exposure. Their confidence shrinks as their consequences grow. They attempt to blame others for the disruption surrounding them, but no one accepts their words as easily as before. People have seen enough to think twice. Their explanations sound empty, their reasoning sounds thin, and their excuses fall apart. The image they crafted begins to crumble under the weight of their own choices. Meanwhile, you continue rising in silence, untouched by their downfall. You move forward with natural momentum, guided by inner clarity and amplified strength. Nothing about your journey requires force or fear. Your growth is steady, graceful, and undeniable. Type Amen 474 to receive your blessing. The more their path collapses, the more your path expands. Your steps become firmer, your direction becomes clearer, and your energy becomes stronger. You are stepping into a season where no hidden intention can reach you. Everything meant to stop you becomes powerless in your presence. Their attempts lose potency because they are working against a destiny sealed long before they tried to interfere. The force surrounding you grows with every breath you take. The light around you widens until it becomes impossible for anyone to dim it. Their envy cannot overpower the strength written into your spirit. They begin to realize they are losing control, but the realization comes too late. The system they used to manipulate now stands against them. The people they tried to sway now drift away. The shadows they operated within now expose them. You continue moving with quiet certainty. You do not need to look back to see their downfall. Your focus remains forward, aligned with the path meant for you. And that alone becomes the reason their plans are collapsing. Type Amen 662 to receive your blessing. Continuation, Part 4. Their energy becomes unstable as they feel the weight of their actions tightening around them. Each decision they make is born from fear rather than strategy. The confidence they once displayed turns into hesitation, and hesitation turns into visible panic. Their plan begins slipping through their fingers like sand. They try to regain their influence by speaking louder, but louder words cannot repair what weakened intentions destroyed. People sense the shift in them, the imbalance in their behavior, the discomfort in their presence. Their performance no longer convinces the crowd it once controlled. The cracks have grown too wide to hide. Your strength becomes the silent force that exposes every layer they tried to conceal. You never needed to confront them because your authenticity confronts everything they are not. Your growth stands as a reflection of what they failed to achieve within themselves. This truth shakes them to their core. They look around and realize the environment no longer bends to their advantage. The energy they relied on has turned cold, and the support they expected has vanished. They stand alone in the very space they tried to push you out of. And the emptiness they created becomes the beginning of their own downfall. Type Amen 272 to receive your blessing. Their attempts to regain control become desperate, almost frantic. They rearrange their tactics, hoping a new approach will shift the momentum. But every move they make feels forced, unnatural, and ineffective. Their efforts break apart before they ever reach your path. Your spirit remains still, grounded in an unshakable calm that they cannot understand. This calmness frustrates them because it highlights their inner chaos. They want to see you unsettled, but all they find is a presence that grows stronger each moment. Your elevation is a silent declaration of their failure. They try to gather strength from those who used to support them, but the connections feel hollow now. People listen without truly listening, nod without believing, and agree without commitment. Their influence has lost its foundation. Their voice no longer carries the power it once did. Their frustration turns inward, and they begin blaming everything around them except the truth. The truth is that nothing can remove a person protected by purpose. Nothing can shift a destiny forged from resilience. And nothing born from envy survives long enough to defeat someone aligned with higher strength. Type Amen 191 to receive your blessing. They begin to sense that their actions have awakened forces beyond their control. Every step they take feels heavy, every thought feels clouded. The once clear path they believed they owned now feels foreign and difficult to navigate. The more they try to push forward, the more resistance they face. Your energy creates a barrier they cannot understand. It is not aggression, not retaliation, not defense, just pure alignment. Alignment with purpose is stronger than any plan rooted in insecurity. Your path remains untouched because it is protected by something greater than human intention. Their attempts start bouncing back with increasing intensity. They release negativity, and it circles back with twice the weight. They try to manipulate outcomes, and those outcomes twist themselves against them. They wanted control, but now they cannot control the consequences their actions created. Their presence becomes shaky, and their confidence dissolves into uncertainty. Every space they walk into feels different now. Every room feels heavier. Every conversation feels less stable. They start to understand that they are losing a battle they should have never begun. Type Amen 515 to receive your blessing. The more their world collapses, the more your world expands. New strength rises inside you, a strength you didn't have to fight for. It grows naturally, peacefully, and irresistibly. You become the embodiment of what resilience looks like when it refuses to bend. Your light becomes impossible to overlook. People notice your calmness, your balance, your silent power. They see the way you stand tall without forcing anything. They admire the way you rise without stepping on anyone. And this admiration exposes the contrast between you and the one trying to remove you. Their envy intensifies because they realize your presence alone is enough. You do not need to speak loudly or draw attention to yourself. Your existence carries weight. Your progress happens without noise. And your energy speaks louder than anything they could ever say. They begin to understand that you are not just someone they dislike, you are someone who reflects their deepest insecurities. You shine where they dim. You rise where they fall. You grow where they remain stuck. And instead of fixing themselves, they tried fixing your absence. Type Amen 860